Please click like and subscribe and that little notification bell for the next episode.
We used to take my grandpa's Cadillac and we used to go and pick up the old Coke bottles people threw out, and we get 5 cents a bottle for the Coke bottles. So from Truxton on down, there's a place called Crozier. It's a big 2-story house with a swimming pool. Well, that belonged to my grandpa. He built it when my grandma got married there.
There were 2 ways into Kingman. One was down what you call Slaughterhouse Canyon, and that is to the kind of the east of Kingman. In those days, they were all dirt roads and a lot of Model T Fords, and there were lots of people that were stranded along the highway in the summertime when we would have heavy rains.
I went to a lot of dances up at Valentine. There's a little schoolhouse that's kind of beat up now, but it's right off the road. We'd go every Saturday night if we could, either to the movies, to Kingman and see our friends, or we'd meet our friends up at Valentine at the little schoolhouse and dance all night and go back down 66 to what was the City Cafe at that time. And we'd go down and we'd meet, and then we'd all be in trouble for getting home at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I would say thank you to these fine ladies here for telling us their stories and contributing to our production. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
I'd
for asking us.
to know
We
you.
appreciate it.
Thanks, Ben.
The Hill Top Motel is just a short hop from the Dambar Steakhouse.
And we're at the Hill Top Hotel here in Kingman. Best view in Kingman.
Hi, I'm Dennis from the Hill Top Motel in Kingman, Arizona. The land for this property was bought in October of 1953 by John Meashide, who was from California. The first owners were the Pickard family, then the Horners for a few years. The Gerkes ran it in the late 60s. Then Bob Budd and his wife Eileen owned it in the early 70s. And then I purchased the property in 1981 and have been here ever since.
Continuing west on Old Route 66, we pass the Old Trails Road called 4th Street.
Another older alignment spur that we will return to.
Okay, we're in Kingman right now, and we're at Dunton Motors, and we're talking to Roy Dunton.
Hello there, I'm Roy Dunton. I came to Gold Road, Arizona on Route 66 in 1939. I was about 17, 18 years old, and I've been here ever since. When I first came to Gold Road, I went to work for my uncle. This picture's right behind us here. That was N.R. Dunton. I was named after him. He was kind of the mayor of Gold Road, other than the supervisor that lived in Oatman. The road was quite heavily traveled in those days. The hill had about a 15% grade as it went out of Gold Road to go up the hill to the top of the mountain. Many people were afraid to go up and down that hill. Some would stop at the bottom of the hill and ask to have someone drive them to the top. Many trucks would come down there and use their brakes. By the time they got 2/3 of the way, they didn't have any brakes. There's another picture here of the old mill at Oatman, which was 3 miles below Gold Road, late 30s. And the picture next to it is the little town where the miners and everybody lived right below Oatman. The ones that couldn't afford to live in town, why they built their little shacks right there.
Okay, Roy, I want to say thank you very much for telling us the story about Route 66 and you're a part of it.
A short hop west of Daunton and Daunton is the iconic Mr. D's Route 66 diner.
And Mr. D's, the famous Route 66 diner and road stop. Okay, we're in Kingman, Arizona right now at the famous Mr. D's. Mr. D's is a landmark here on Route 66. And right now I'm talking to Brandi.
Mr. D's was originally built in the 1929. Mr. D is Mr. Dunton, originally a Shell gas station and a small diner called the Chemo Cafe. It was eventually shut down, remodeled. About 10 years ago, Armando and Michelle Jimenez bought the building. They've had it ever since.
In front of me I have, well, I'm going to let you describe what it is.
Definitely. Here we have one of our famous, it's our Route 66 bacon cheeseburger. That features our half-pound burger on that. Here we have our homemade old-fashioned creamy caramel root beer for you.
Which I'm going to try this stuff out right now. But the first thing I'm going to try out, because I just love fries, is their French fries.
Hope it's warm.
It's an excellent French fry.
Wonderful.
It's exactly what you'd want. It's not greasy. It's not overcooked, it's not undercooked. Perfect French fry.